Thank
Right, so
you.
welcome to day four. I am going to. Have you made me co-host,
Yes, I have.
Miss? Lovely.
Yes,
So
I
I'll
did.
share my screen then.
Thank you.
You'll have to excuse me. I've been cleaning windows from the outside today, and I haven't been enjoying it. While the men have been fitting carpets in the house.
You have started screen share.
I
Participant can now see your application. You are
Thank you.
screen sharing.
Thank you, Zoo.
I'm sorry, but that is definitely
I don't know what's happening anymore.
Agent of the Dark Lord there.
Oh, don't mention the Dark Lord.
Sorry, I'll delete.
Okay. Right. So, Molly, have you watched day 2 and 1 at all? Yeah? I can't hear you, darling. Oh. Okay, so basically, would you like to share anything? What have you what ahas have you had? I know, Karen, you've managed to do a load of the chakra cleansing and clearing, haven't you? Which is fabulous. So that'll start showing itself over the next few days. Have you got anything? I can't hear you, Molly. Are you muted?
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, lovely.
It's not obviously I haven't watched the last 2 days, but I have been chakra clearing recently, and just you'll know on my journey, I feel very proud of myself at the moment. Is that I'm actually getting over myself, I think, when it comes to being a mentor. And there's a tiny weeny little mind, spirit, body and spirit show fair coming up, which I did anyway. Somebody pointed me, and I've just been doing my little postcards for it and figuring out
lovely
group work I can do with people. So it's I'm absolutely with you on this, and I will go back and look at the 2 days to see if there are any pointers chakras, but definitely my block's always in the sacral chakra. And then this morning I was doing some, as I was walking, and it was my throat chakra. And I know that because very often if I'm talking, believe it or not, my throat seizes up and I start coughing. It happens such a lot. And so I did some past life work on that, which was really interesting.
It is. It's so interesting, isn't it? When you start going deep.
And so
it really is interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because talking about chakras, I don't know if I told you this, Sass. I was doing some posting on social media Tuesday morning, and I was sort of half lying on the bed sideways doing it, and I got up really quickly, and I just had this massive pain in the middle of my back between my shoulder blades, and it was excruciating, and it was energetic. So when I have pain now, the first thing I ask, is it energetic or is it actually physical? And it was energetic. And my back heart chakra, as I was saying, they come from the back to the front, but my back heart chakra, I'd clogged, it was congested, it was blocked, and it was completely shut down just by getting up off the bed. So there was a couple of other things to do with it as well, but that was the major impact, because I'd got up and made a cup of tea beforehand and I was fine. I'd sat back down and lay sideways, and then when I got back up, it just had a moment.
It's bizarre.
And it took me all day to clear it, but I did manage to clear it in the end.
Interesting.
Well,
when we were talking today about times where, just because we're a woman without any kind of evidence to the contrary, people around us have believed that we're not capable of doing something. And I shared the time where I had to argue to get my company car. I'd actually forgotten all about that until last night. I had no idea that was going to come up and that I was going to actually share that. I always go to the one about my mum and the mortgage because it's so relatable to most people. But that one about the car, I mean, that was when I still lived in Middlesbrough. So that was before I was 24. So, but what really got me was when I said to you guys that in order to stand up for myself like that and get what I think is rightfully mine, I don't like that confrontation that I have to go through and that the way that I have to. So I was quite surprised at how strongly I still felt about that last night. And I got up this morning, and as you can guess, there was so much to clear around that, so much to clear about me having to show aggression in you know, if I can call it that. And yeah, I know I'm a bit badass, but I don't think I'm aggressive. And I don't like being like that, and I don't like being put in that position. And I think, you know, I likened it to my dogs. I've always had, until these two recent, I've always had Labradors, and you know, people talk about Labradors, and they're lovely and they're cuddly and they're Andrex puppies and everything, but they always say that the worst dog to back into a corner is a Labrador. It will come out fighting, and people don't believe that. And so I think I'm one of life's Labradors. You know, I'm I bool along, you know, and I'm happy and all the rest of it, but don't back me into a corner. I don't like that. Don't put me in a place where I feel I have to come out fighting. I really don't like being put in that situation. So I cleared a lot on that. And yeah, as you can imagine, it came from stuff from working in that job and working in that arena, stuff from my brother, being raised with a brother who was much, much bigger than me physically, much bigger than me, and just thought I was available to be the punch bag. Cleared so much from that, and stuff from past lives as well came up. So I was absolutely bowled over by that. Yeah, so done a lot of clearing today. Yeah.
And that's the thing, isn't it? You know, whereas before we did this work and before we realized there was all this amazing tools that we could use to release it, you'd just be stuck with it, and it would be going around your head, and you feel like crap all day.
I did.
Maybe for the week.
Yeah.
You know, and it would take you forever to let it, you know, get yourself over it in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. I woke up this morning and I felt grumpy. Yeah, that's how it made me. It made me grumpy. And I thought, well, that's just not fair, because that was like almost 40 years ago, and yet it can still come up in our energy. Sorry, it was 20
comes up
years
at the
ago.
right time, though, doesn't it?
Sorry,
it does come up at the right time.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I think you're absolutely right there, that the work that I'm doing now and that you and I are doing, it is absolutely about clearing out all of that
absolutely
with the masculine, feminine, the patriarchy, the misogyny, blah blah blah. I'm so done with that. I thought I was. Obviously there was some residual stuff there to clear, so I'm really grateful actually that did come up.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's mirrors and magnets.
Yep.
So that's what we've just been talking about. We've been talking about transgenerational trauma, the triggers and the truth.
Yeah.
And really we've just talked about what we can do about it, because it is, the energy work is the gateway to your transformation, and it'll come up at the right time, and it'll show itself to you so that you can let it go. And it's not about making yourself wrong, because we've been conditioned to think there's something wrong with us, or that we're broken or whatever. But because of all of the societal, the religious, the cultural, the archetypal programming and the media programming as well that we've been subjected to, it means that we've got all of that we've been carrying. And if you think of how many women there are in the world and how much we have been sort of kept down and had to be quiet and kept in our place, and you know, I tell you what, I've just been I was going to send this to you, Sass, and it's a perfect thing to bring up right now. and this is really interesting. There was I think she's German, a German referee lady refereeing a football game between Turkey and someone else, and she gave one of the Turkish young men a yellow card, I think. And do you know what he said to her?
What?
"You're in the wrong place. Shouldn't you be back in the kitchen?"
Really?
Yeah.
I can believe
Oh
that.
my
Like a 20-year-old boy, I have to say, he is a boy,
child.
in the Turkish football team.
That's their
Oh
culture,
my
isn't it?
God. They've literally ripped him apart.
Good.
He's
Good.
been banned for 5 months.
Good.
He's been told he's got to go and participate, be like a linesman or something in women's football games.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I
Yes.
shouldn't laugh, but and then he's got to also referee a women's game.
Good. I mean,
Brilliant.
didn't he learn anything from the head of the Spanish football confederation, that you can't do this to women anymore?
No.
I'll tell you what.
And there's probably a load of women who are better players than him anyway.
Oh God, yeah. What they should get him to do is actually referee a women's hockey match.
Oh,
Whacked over the head. He wouldn't keep
or a
up
women's
with
rugby game.
Keep up with them.
The school I went to,
and I thought, oh my God. But here's the societal, the cultural, and the religious. Because if you think about Turkey, they are Muslims.
Yeah.
And I'm not disrespecting anybody, but I'm just pointing out it's the religious, it's the societal, it's again the patriarchy, and all of that. Where I've taught Muslim boys, and they have zero respect for women. Zero.
And yet, culturally, Turkey, with Ataturk, who insisted they take off the hijab, and that it was not a religious society.
Yeah.
So maybe he just came from the country. Because
it's so interesting though. But still constantly we're being subjected to. That has got to have come from somewhere for him, hasn't it? It's
definitely.
A 20-year-old young man.
Societal to think that he can get away. And this is what I said yesterday. It's that they have their own transgenerational trauma.
Yeah,
they're just completely unaware of it, and that is his trauma. He's turned out to be a bigot, and that's his cross to bear.
Yeah, moving swiftly along. So it just came to me, and I screenshotted it, and I meant to send it to you, Sass, because I thought it was, oh my God, after what we had been talking about last night, I thought, oh, that's fabulous. Anyway, so it's in motion, isn't it? It's in motion. So what can we do, or what can you ladies do? And the ladies on the replay, watching the recording, we're going to invite you to do 3 things. Set yourself 3 intentions to empower yourself and get yourselves moving forward. Obviously, one of the things we'd really love you to do is to join us in our Fire Opal 5-week course starting next Monday for £97. You get us for 5 weeks, totally amazing. But what 3 things can you do just for yourself? What 3 actions can you either embody? I mean, Molly, you're already saying that you're doing the the chakra stuff, and you're aware of past lives and what have you. So you've got all that training. So what's one small thing you could do? What's a medium thing you could do? And what's a large thing you could do?
For me,
if you think about what is actually sticking for you at the moment, what in your life is just really like it's bugging you, it's poking you in the side. What could you do to get that moving, to empower yourself and move away rather than be in that resistant energy?
I think, you know, accepting money, it's always been a big deal, and Sass will know this for me. For example, I did some work, quite significant some work for a lady, some pattern design, and she's totally thrilled with it. And I sent my invoice in. I didn't get a response for 2 weeks, so I had to write another email to her because she's been such a good client. We have such a good relationship. And I was thinking, oh, no, she would never walk away on me. Anyway, I wrote I wrote the email. You know, it was nice and chatty, and I got a lovely response from her. So that was retrospectively empowering for me, you know, to actually feel, no, actually I've done a really good job for you. And the patterns that we put onto sarongs actually were picked up by some influencers who were at the hotel. So, you know, it's all really good. So I think I've just got to get out of my head actually and work on my own confidence. And realize I'm beginning to realize how good I am. Sorry?
Valuing your value.
Yes, and I think by going to this mind, body, spirit, that'll be something, because I'll also see, am I talking too much? I also ended up at some local girl. She said she wanted guinea pigs, so I assumed it was sort of case studies. Stupidly, she's running Herbalife, which I'm not very happy about. You know, it's sort of not pyramid setting, but that sort of thing. She's very good at what she was doing, but I just came away and I could tell that I was just wasting her time, but I felt like saying, well, you invited me. And I came away thinking, damn, I'm better than that, you know. I have learned, you know, I've been a nursery. I just know I just have to trumpet my own thing. So small is mind, body, spirit. Medium is I'm thinking YouTube, get out there and just talk. It doesn't matter what I talk about, I just get out there and start talking.
Can I make a suggestion there, Molly?
Yes, please, Mandy.
YouTube shorts.
I have no idea what they are.
And you can repurpose those, and you can pop them, you know, on TikTok, and you can pop them
TikTok's
on Facebook.
I haven't even talked about, but I think that's how I would.
If you just do one video, you can put it everywhere. But the YouTube shorts, they just whiz, you know, people up into.
Okay, and it can be general and chatty, and I want it to be humorous. And then, so large, I'm thinking of getting together with a business coach. It's quite expensive next year, but that's a big step for me, to commit to somebody who's really going to take my business from A to B, but really help me. Does that make sense? Sorry, it's really hot in here. So I think that's something, apart from, and I'm reading a lot of books, and I'm reading Carolyn Myss. Do you know this lady? Oh, she's amazing. So yeah. How does that sound, Mandy?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. What can you do to make sure you follow through on all of that?
Well, one is just to do the YouTube. I've got one little, that's the one thing so I've done tick mind, body, spirit, and I've got my cards and I know what I'm going to do there. I'm also going to ask people whether they'd like a small group, and I've got that sorted out. Medium, yeah, YouTube, get myself out there. Just get over myself. I'm not that ugly, but that's what holds me back. Who wants to listen to an old woman? You know, just shut up.
A lot of people. And then there's a lady who's an astrologer on YouTube. She's older than me, and she's got quite a few followers.
It's just would they want
amazing.
Okay.
So yes,
get over myself. And then 3,
she wants to listen to you. and get everybody to follow you. Get everybody to follow you. Reach out to all your friends. Please follow me on YouTube, because that'll create that momentum for you. Because
also I'm no longer doing the felt making. I've put that to bed. I've got one course starting, but when that's all, so I've got all that gang of people who might, some of them might be interested in you know, a spiritual.
There's often a lot of
I would definitely say so. 30 seconds to 2-minute reels, and it won't take you too long. And if you wanted to, you could do 2 or 3 a day, and then just schedule them.
I see. Post them. Oh God, not her again. Yeah. and then finally, you know, just make the commitment to work with Jenny, which is going to be expensive, but I think she's she wants to work with me, and she says she doesn't work with anybody, but she's very direct, bam, 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 and I think she'll just make me get off my arse and just do it. Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Putting yourself out there is one of the biggest things, isn't it?
It sure is.
Yeah. If I can say one thing,
yes,
Molly, about going with a business coach.
Yeah.
Be very, very clear before you enter into it about what you want to get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, she's a super nice woman. I'm down here and she's going, oh, for God's sake, Molly, you want to be up here, and she knows that money's my problem, but she also knows that money is very important to me, and she's got me to admit that,
Mm-hmm.
It's not a question of having millions, but it's really important to be paid and make an income.
Yeah,
so and that was I had to really buck up to that.
Yeah. But also be very clear when you say business, about what shape you want your business to be. Have your goal. Don't be wishy-washy with your energy. Have your goal.
Right.
It's carved in stone, but you have to at least give the universe a direction to at least start going in.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people who've spent a lot of money on business coaching and then come to me afterwards and said, I spent all that money and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I wanted out of it. Can you help me to find out what I want, clear the resistance to what I want, explore my dreams, and dream big. Dream big.
I think so, because I'm sorry, Karen, I don't want to take up all the time tonight. I did a future life progression course qualification with Lisa Hammond, but I never got round to writing the report, which I must do. And so I've been going through all what I talked about a year ago, and it's really interesting because it's all happening, or it's all still there in my mind. So thank you, Sass. I've got till January, to really get my mind exactly where I want to go.
Yeah. And also another thing for you to think about is, where do you want we have quite good ability to think about where you want to be in a year's time, but it's a bigger stretch to think, where do I want to be in 3 years' time?
And 10.
So that I'm picking up off what Sass said, is to dream big, because we tend not to. So by going out 3 years, then that will give you that stretch.
Yeah. And keep doing the energy work.
I am, me every day. So I'm totally into that. Thank you. No, that's right.
And the only other thing I will say, Molly, is that you don't see yourself the way other people see you. When other people see you, they see the things that you're almost afraid to admit to yourself. How amazing you are, all the degrees you have, all the qualifications you have, all the skills you have, all the knowledge, all your wisdom. Because, I mean, I'm not being funny. Who wants to listen to an old lady? Well, anyone who's looking for somebody who's got a bit of common sense and wisdom and knowledge. 21-year-olds don't cut it. Yeah, they look fantastic, but they don't know shit. I'm sorry, but they don't, because they just haven't had enough birthdays. So birthdays go in your favor. They do. And this is what we spoke about yesterday. Did we? Oh, I've done so much
one. The wise one. Yeah. The first day was really useful.
Yeah, exactly. The wise woman. And
I thought that's cool.
When inverted commas, ladies of a certain age get to this age, and you and I, Molly, have spoken about the siphons. That is our power. Is we're no longer burdened by our energy going into being fertile and when we get to this age where we've let all that go, we really step into our power. We really know our stuff, and we command that respect that comes with having had those experiences, having had the life, had the falls, have the getting ups, and the going round the circle a few more times. We've got all that, and instead of seeing that as a hindrance or a regret, almost, I'm not saying you do, I'm saying that women in general do, applaud it and celebrate.
It's a superpower.
It
really is.
I'm beginning to realise it. I really am. I think,
Good.
yeah, I am.
Molly, can I ask you a quick question?
Please ask me a question.
Do you know what your human design is?
No.
No.
What is
Okay.
my human? What does that mean?
Okay.
Ooh.
I
Is
won't go
this something
into
we
it
did
now.
last? Have I missed?
No.
No,
It's
no,
completely different. Molly.
no.
Completely different.
There are certain characteristics. There are 4 types of human design, and it'd be interesting to see what your human design is. There are 4 types. There are generators, manifestors. There's a subcategory of that called manifesting generators. There are projectors and there are reflectors. So most of the population are generators because they're doing. I'm a projector. Sass is a manifester.
Right.
And we were saying this the other day. I'm everything Sass isn't, and Sass is everything I'm not, which is why we work so well together, because you get the full package.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting for you intuitively is it when you do, I'll send you a link. I'll get Sass to send you a link so you can find out what your human design is, because it gives you an awareness of your characteristics specifically to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering what there's a thing called your not self.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me to recognize myself, I need to be successful. I also need to see myself, because if I don't see myself, no one else sees me. And I'm meant to be a lighthouse, and I have to wait for the invitation. So unlike a generator who's doing, sending loads of stuff out and, doing lots of stuff, and they're really good in sales and stuff like that.
No.
My not self, if I'm not doing what I'm meant to be doing, my not self is bitterness. So you can see with the human design how amazing it is then to use the energy work. So I'm not constantly in a cycle where I'm feeling bitter all the time.
Right. I would be very interested to know more about that.
Yeah.
Or even, a link or some books or whatever.
It's a bit like it's a combination of things, and I'm not qualified in it, but it does give people a massive insight on their own character, and it is really, really, really very, very close to the bone. It really is.
Great.
You have to know what time of day you were born, Molly, but you
can... I don't, unfortunately.
You can sway on that.
I was going to say,
yeah. I know which day, and I have a feeling it was the evening, but and I remember how. But my mother's not here to ask. But yes, I'll sway.
I
never thought of that.
Yeah, I did. I've done my human design. So if you want to know about it, I'll send you a link where you can actually have your design done, and then if you want to know what it all means, I can send you some info as well. For me, what I discovered being a manifestor that I always thought was, if you like, a failing in me, is that I can work on 3 or 4 projects at once, and I can work very, very intensely, and then I have to step back from them. And that has been my MO for 30 odd years. And I thought it was a way of working that I developed that worked for me, because I was unemployable somewhere else. I thought, this is me, this is the way I work. And it's why I can't work for other people. Like, we all know now why I don't take orders. I don't like being backed into a corner. But that is my human design. That is how I operate. And it was so liberating to understand.
It is. Because we beat ourselves up for not doing the things like the generators. And, the generators do things a certain way. And if you're brought up by a generator, which most of us, my mother was a generator, so you're in, and most of society is a generator. So if you're not a generator, then you're being something that you're not actually not. And then when you read that about yourself, you think, oh, thank God for that. But also, we've got this negative self-talk going on.
Yeah,
it would be very useful as a mentor as well, as a skill.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
very
Thank you.
easy to pick up the information. It's very straightforward. It's very easy. I mean,
Yeah.
you can go into massive depths with it.
There's
Yeah.
no
But
need.
for me, I don't think I need to. I don't think I need to.
No.
And it's interesting what Maddie
It's
was
just
saying.
having that awareness.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm only meant to work around 4 hours a day. But in that 4 hours, shut up. I can do in 4 hours what generators, it takes them 12 hours to do.
I'm feeling I'm a generator anyway. But yes, I will let you know what I find out.
I thought well, a lot of people who know some more about me than human design thought I was a generator.
There we go.
But I'm not.
And to find out when you were born, very simple way to do it with the sway. You first ask, was I born between 12 midnight and 12 noon, or 12 noon to 12 midnight, so morning or afternoon? And when you get that, you can break it down into sixes. So okay, was I born before 6 o'clock or after 6 o'clock? Oh, was I born, if you said before 6 o'clock, was I born between 12 and 3, 3 and 6? And you just go like that.
Just keep it
Get
going
the
back.
hour and then you get the minute.
Yeah.
So start at 1 o'clock in the morning, wouldn't it be the first? Or 12, no, midnight, I suppose.
Midnight.
Yeah. Just
Midnight,
after midnight.
Yeah. 001.
Yeah, I will do that because so often you have to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done it for my my natal chart, my star chart, and I've done it for my human design chart. And I think I've done it like 3 or 4 years apart, and it's spot on. Both times it's been spot on.
I will do that tomorrow.
Because I forgot.
Yeah. So
Okie dokie.
Well done, Moles.
thank you.
Karen, my lovely, did you want to talk about anything with regards to 3 actions you think you might take on and embody?
Absolutely. I'm inspired by Molly. The small thing would definitely be to re-engage fully with energy work. I mean, having seen some results just in these past 3 days, I know that there's something there I need to revisit. And as I said, certainly yesterday, perhaps Monday, Tuesday also, that I believe I've kind of been brought to this forum for a reason. I believe everything's happening. So I do need to work on some energy work, particularly in light of the chakra work that I did on Tuesday. So there are blockages, things are spinning the wrong way. So I need to investigate that, do some research and actually work more on that. Because there are things, I have my own business and there are things I'm not doing that I should be doing. And therefore I feel that once I've identified where the blockages are, the medium thing would be to, excuse me, sort of identify where they are and work on that, and then stop the procrastination, because then I'll know the reasons behind why I'm just not doing things. And it might not just be because I'm lazy or whatever.
No, it's not.
The larger
Can
thing.
I just speak to the word procrastination for a moment? Procrastination is a trauma response, and it is part of your nervous system, or your subconscious is in freeze. So the fight, flight, or freeze response. Procrastination, and we beat ourselves up about it because we think we can't make a decision, but it's actually not. It is a trauma response to do with something that is keeping your subconscious only wants to keep you safe. So something might trigger you off and then you don't make a decision. It's because there is some kind of trauma. And I know that's a really big word, but it's just our reaction to something, and our unconscious mind went, no, we're not doing that. So I'm going to play a program for you so you don't do that kind of thing again, because I'm keeping you safe. Yeah. So procrastination, if you think about it, you can't make a decision. I've done it so many times myself, and then realized I've done the energy work on it, and it is a trauma response to being in freeze. So where you can untangle that a bit.
Yeah. And it's very obvious when, even when you manage to make the decision, yeah, these are my options. That's the one I've chosen. When we still don't do what we know needs to be done, and we've got all the logic in place, there is nothing logically or physically stopping us from doing it. We've got all the stuff we need at our fingertips. We've got all the kit, we've got all the experience, we've got the qualifications. And this is a big one for women. And it speaks again to what Molly was saying. We just go around getting more and more and more qualifications, and yet never step into that power. So procrastination and that trauma. So even when you've made the decision, it's glaringly obvious what you need to do. And that's what hurts so much about procrastination, because you know that if you did that thing, everything would change. And
there's
you
also the flip
can't
side
do
of
it.
that.
Yeah.
There's the flip side as well, where you may have the fear of the success.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been told I have
Again,
paradise
because
syndrome.
of the trauma, like, you know, what we've been talking about over the last
Yeah.
few days.
I think
And
there's
Just
a
some
lot of
bit of
that.
awareness.
Yeah, for sure. I think definitely a fear of success rather than a fear of failure. And
Yeah.
sorry, I overlapped with you, but I said I have been told that I've got paradise syndrome, which is, if it all could be great, but then why do I not go to it, for the fear that it will then buckle up? So I need to work.
Yeah, fear
on that.
of losing it then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Perhaps, yeah, if it's so important to me, yeah. So I will be doing that, and then the larger things would be as a result of the smaller medium, which similar to Molly again would be to, I've kind of dabbled with social media because I've changed the direction of my business. So you know, using socials much more acutely and powerfully, I would say, and I picked up some really good hints and tips from the discussion with Molly, so thank you. And I also would be interested in learning my human design, so if you would be able to share
More
links
for awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. It's a lot of fun as well.
Absolutely.
Can I ask a question of Karen?
of course.
Oh, Karen, what is your business? I'd be interested.
Now it's coaching and training,
Right.
specifically, so I've got coaching qualifications and others as well. Yeah, so
Thank you.
Amazing.
but I'm kind of looking for my niche, and I think I'm kind of, this is part of the procrastination and dabbling and going like, well, is it that, is it the other, and I'm afraid to commit. So I think a lot of the work will help.
Have you got an offer, Karen, that you can offer people?
This is what I've been prattling about with as well. So yeah, I got some lead magnets, and then some. It should be this price, and it's reduced, but I need to again go back to all of that.
Yeah.
Because Sass probably knows what I'm going to say next.
Yeah.
Because I'm working with some coaches at the moment who've got an offer to help you create an offer. It's meant to be for Black Friday, but I think it's also it ties in with social media and social media systems. So you get all of your social media done and your offer done, ready to promote yourself for Black Friday. It doesn't mean you have, if you're not ready to do the Black Friday thing, but I think it's just an amazing, for $47, you get all this training from these people who are, you know, making 100 grand a month. And they know what they're doing, and they're offering this training because they created this software. And I'm trying to show it to as many people as possible, because the people that I introduce, I'm going to have a supporting group as well, because I love technology, and I just want to help them. I just want people to get themselves out there. And if there's an easier way and you know, not having to spend a fortune doing it, then it just puts us in the frame of, right, I've got to do this. And that's why we're doing it. I'm doing it for our Goddess Effect, because we want to go big and help as many women as possible. So I know this is going to really get our name out there.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have to start promoting yourself on Black Friday. What you would have is all the information for when you're ready. If you want to know any more, Sas can send you or
Well,
maybe show
that's
you
the-
my
the
post.
greater irony of all of this is that I'm part of a 1 year in group coaching program, and there are all of the
Oh,
training.
lovely.
And it's this procrastination about, oh, well, and I think some of it is a bit of overwhelm with how much
Yeah.
there's available.
Yeah.
So again, I think by clearing blockages and just going back to basics,
Yeah.
and then categorizing things and putting things into priority. And
Yeah,
in bite-sized chunks, because I see all of the trainings.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh! Instead of going, well, if I did one a day, decide.
And for yourself and anyone listening, you can use your sway to ask what you should do first instead of guessing. Oh, shall I do this? Shall I do that? What do I really need to do first? Is it this? Is it in my highest good to do the social media? Is it in my highest good to do the lead magnet? Or is it...
Text after me. Can you unscreen share so I can see people?
Okay. Stop share.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I thought that would be quiet. I didn't want to interrupt. I just want to see people. I can't see people's reactions.
I'll have to find out where the
I'm
button
a really
is.
visual person. The one thing I would say though, Karen, is, and I completely understand where you are. Been there, done that. Got that T-shirt in several colours and sizes, and got the rock to go with it. The important thing to remember is you're always where you need to be. You're always exactly where you need to be.
Yeah.
I know that doesn't help you right now because you want to get beyond the procrastination and you want to do the things, and that's great. At least you've got that. But always remember that regardless of your niche, regardless of your training, regardless of where you want to go, regardless of what you're doing, the one component of your business that matters more than any of the others is you. How you are vibrating, how you are feeling about things. And it's sort of what I said yesterday, that anything you're doing will benefit from any of the energy work that you do. So people sort of think, I'm taking myself out of my business or out of my training. And it just sorts you out because you're the one that's going to be doing the training. You're the one that's going to be doing the social media. You're the one that's going to be sorting out your niche. You're the one that's going to be sitting with your clients. You're the one that's going to be doing the lead magnet. It's about you. It always comes back to you and how you feel about things and how you're doing. So any energy work you do, and as you say, you've identified stuff in your chakras, which is absolutely where you should be looking, and do the work and build on it. Do the work and build on it. Always, your niche is you. I need to know my niche. You are your own niche, and whatever you need right now is what you should be doing. If you're trying to kind of niche out into an area and picking on a subject where that's not you, it won't work. So people always say, oh, your niche is a version of you from like a year ago, 2 years, 3, whatever, and that's kind of true. But I'm talking energetically. What you need to do in your business is to niche you. Whatever you need is absolutely the direction of your business. So if you need to be sorting out your chakras, and I'm not saying you're suddenly a chakra teacher, I'm just saying what's coming up for you in your chakras, whatever the resistances and things are that are coming up for you that you're clearing, are going to create a different you. It can't help do anything else. So the most important thing is you, and you are your niche. Take care of you and what you need, and that will actually mushroom out and give you all the information you need to know about anything you need to do in your business, because you have all the answers. You just have to unlock them.
I think also there must be a reason for the procrastination. I mean, like frustrating.
Yeah.
But there's a reason behind it. And perhaps it is that I was kind of charging around like an idiot, going here, there, and everyone, trying to be everything and do everything. And then I think with procrastination, I think the switch side of the positive is that you sit back and perhaps then get an opportunity to look at everything.
Yeah.
So, you know what? No wonder I'm stuck.
Yeah.
So I think there is a reason. And so I'm just busy working my way through that and not beating myself up over all the things I could have done by now.
Exactly.
my action plans, and I've just reset my 90-day goals to the end of this year, so that has helped a lot as well to just get some clarity.
Good, good. Yeah. And if you've got your goals and you know what you're doing, break it down into bite-sized chunks and then say, and the smaller you go, and the smaller you go, because we sometimes look at things and go, oh, that's so big, I don't even know where to start. Break it down. The best way to eat an elephant is elephant burgers. So you got to break it down into burgers.
Don't eat elephants.
Okay, like, we're not going to eat the elephant, but you get the idea. Okay. All right. Okay. The way to eat a field full of lettuces the size of Australia is to put it in burgers.
Could have said chocolate.
I could say chocolate, yeah.
Could have said chocolate.
Yeah, but I wouldn't eat chocolate bits, Mandy. It's not working. I would just eat the whole lot, you know me. So, do you know what I mean? And the more you break your big goals, but be specific about what your goals are. And the more you break them down into little chunks and say, oh yeah, I can do that. And then, and you know, if you give yourself 3 to do per week or 3 per day, depending on how small they are, everything you do feeds into your own algorithm of I'm on my way to my goals. I'm on my way to my goals. And this harnesses the law of momentum. And the more momentum you get going on the things that you want and desire, the more the universe gets behind you and kind of pushes you along and helps you out.
Absolutely.
Both. Thank you all very much.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Okay, so I think we've got
Arca's here. Are you able to join us?
Wonderful, lovely to see you.
Can you join us on camera, Arca, or are we being incognito this evening? Being incognito. Okay.
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Right. So I can tell you what's on the next slide.
Please, miss.
Yeah.
Please. I wrote a note down and I've just remembered it. Another thing to say to both Karen and Molly is to check in what your secondary gains are. Yeah. Be clear on the secondary gains. Make sure you've cleared all the resistance in the secondary gains. Are you all aware of what a secondary gain is?
Yes.
No? Okay, Karen. Secondary gains are what do you gain by not making the progress? Yeah, it's like, you know, what are the benefits for you staying where you are? What are the benefits? You know, I'm trying to think of some examples because I'm not very good at secondary gains.
I know what that is. I just never have heard of it as with that.
Right, excellent. But you know,
and I've just done all of that as well.
It's like someone who's for instance, a smoker, and say they have to go out to, if they're in an office, they'll have to go out and they'll meet those people only in like the cigarette break, and you know, by not doing that, they don't get to socialize with those people. That's their secondary gain, apart from the physical stuff.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
The only one I can think of, which is something I have sort of secondary experience of, is without judging, I'm just going to come out and say it. People who use an illness or a disability to get people to do things for them. That's a secondary gain. If you know, they could actually improve their situation, they could take more responsibility for their health and well-being and make improvements, but then people would stop doing things for them. People would stop going shopping for them. People would stop coming and helping them to do this and their garden, etc., etc., etc. So they have kind of a vested interest in staying exactly where they are and maintaining the status quo. So that's a secondary gain. It's energetically, it's not a healthy way to be, but from their point of view, works great. You know, everybody's flocking around me and doing everything for me. That's a secondary gain. Fabulous.
I remember when I was training in theta healing, and the lady that created theta healing was telling stories, and she was saying that exactly what you're saying, Sass, is this lady had cancer and she was going for healing and she was getting better, and she said, I'm going to stop now. And the lady went, but you've still got cancer. Yeah, but my mother-in-law has been running around after me and looking after me, and she's always been horrible to me before I had cancer.
Oh my God.
Mm-mm. So she stopped having treatment, the healing.
Yeah.
Because the healing was working.
Oh my goodness.
That's amazing.
And everybody in my family is really looking after me, and I've always, they'd always been like neglecting her in a way.
We are funny creatures, aren't we? We just want to be loved and taken
Mm.
care of, but we don't have to engineer
Absolutely.
illnesses, things to do it. But some people do. Some people do engineer illnesses so that they can get that attention, and it feeds into the drama triangle.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go down another rabbit hole. What's on the next slide, Mandy?
Right, let's share. Am I okay to share?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So where are you holding resistance to these 3 actions?
You have started screen share.
Oh dear.
Participants can now see your application.
Thank you very much.
Your screen sharing.
I know.
That really is the agent of the Dark Lord. I'm sorry, but it really is.
I thought the Dark Lord was a deeper voice. Anyway, so and where are you holding resistance to really looking at yourself in the mirror and knowing the truth about yourself? Can you be honest with yourself? So own your truth. What about the truth of others? And maybe what's on the outside of you? How are these things affecting your own truth? And then what can you do to open that awareness? And I think one of the main things is to not come from a place of judgment.
Mm.
Because the one thing that Sass and I have learned through the healing is something that triggers you is only coming up to be healed.
Yeah.
So look at it as an opportunity and a gift, rather than looking at it as something to beat yourself up about. Thinking, okay, this is interesting. This has just come up. What do I need to do about it? Because it's an opportunity to let it go, because then you'll be in a place of neutrality with it. And like something like procrastination, you won't be triggered by that then, and you'll be able to see everything from a neutral place. So after that, letting go then of the blame, shame, and the guilt. This is the self-talk that we quite often have. And I was just saying about being neutral. Do you have resistance to being neutral about something? And do you have resistance to showing yourself compassion? Hands up if you've ever beaten yourself up in your own head and told yourself silly things. Yeah. So you may have resistance to being neutral or having the self-compassion, the self-love. And do you have resistance to being the best or the highest version of yourself? Because the best and highest version of you has already done this, gone through it. They're on the other side, and they are that person that's got rid of all the blocks, and they've actually got their dream. And they know how to hold on to it. And then when you get to that level, then the next level comes.
Mm.
It's an upward spiral. So have a look. You can test with your muscle testing, with your sway. Do I have any blame, shame, or guilt around being successful, or having a really good business, or being what I want to be, or having what I want to have? Have I got resistance to, being neutral with it? So when you're in a neutral place, like Sass was saying, you've got. What's that, Sass?
https://www.dailyalive.com/3-chart.
I do apologize, Wendy. I just put the human design free chart thing in
Oh,
the chat.
nice, nice.
That is
I'm
that
just
is,
seeing.
what can you see?
I was just wondering if there was somewhere to shut him up. But
Where have I heard that before? Sorry.
oh god.
Do carry
Yeah.
on, Wendy.
Yeah, I've lost the flow now.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So do you have resistance to what you want to achieve? So you've given yourself these 3 actions. Check in if you've got any resistance to it, because that could bring you into the procrastination, and it stops you in your tracks. Your subconscious going, oh, no, you're going outside your comfort zone there. It's not safe.
It's a real tricky one, isn't it? That ego that wants to keep us safe.
Yeah. So you can do a little bit of work now if you like. Do I have resistance to your small, your medium, your large things that you want to do? And then you've got a release and replace statement. I reject and refuse all negative energies related to having resistance to doing my social media or doing this, that, or the other. And I choose the path of creating social media posts with ease, grace, and joy, and that it comes to me really easily and quickly with immediate effect. I just chose social media because that was the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah. I think at this point, it'd be good to mention that people can sometimes get a little bit put the brakes on and put the resistance on, because they think that they've established a resistance to something, and they think releasing the resistance to it means that they're going to have to do it. And that's not the case. Releasing the resistance to something means that you just make a decision about it from a place of neutrality and clarity. It doesn't, if you release the resistance to going to your mother-in-law's for Sunday dinner every single week, it doesn't mean you're going to go and do it. It doesn't mean you have to go and do it. It just means that you understand what your resistances are. You learn a little bit more about yourself. What is it about having to do that triggers you? And you just clean it all up. And then when you say, one way or the other, you might say, okay, I still don't want to do it, but I now understand why. I understand what my issues are to do with it, where it sits in my energy, what it speaks to in my energy. And I'm really grateful that it brought all of those things up to me, like Mandy said, the triggers, to be healed. Is it about control? Is it when you think about if your mother-in-law insists you have to go there every single week, is it about control? Is it about she's insinuating herself into your family? Is it about a battle between who gets the husband, the son or the husband? All of those things that can come up. But if you let go of the charge to it, the thing that's causing the resistance, it doesn't mean that you're going to go and visit her every Sunday and be there and be happy about it. No, it just means that you can then, from a place of power and calmness, explain your situation and know that you have a right to say what you're saying without fear of recrimination, because that's not why you're doing it. So it just takes you to that really neutral place where everything's clear, everything's calm, there is no emotional charge to it whatsoever. And that might have been a bit of a ridiculous example, because I've never had a mother-in-law, so
but I said about it earlier, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the one that popped into my head, and I used it because I didn't want to pick on anything that somebody's already said, and then they think, oh, she's picking on me. This is the thing about releasing resistance to something. It doesn't mean you're going to end up doing something you don't want to do. It means you do things from a place of power and clarity. That's all it means.
And it could bring you to a place of, because you're resisting it and it's your point of focus. When you let the resistance go, something else might come instead of it. So, you know,
yeah,
because you've taken your focus away from it, you let the resistance go, and really something else was meant to come for you instead.
Yeah. And often when you release the resistances in situations like this, if there's, you know, we do a lot of work on ourselves, but if we do work on situations where there are dynamics and other people involved, by removing the emotional charge, the negative charge of it does affect the other people. We hear tales all the time of people releasing the negativity from a situation, and then people they haven't heard from, siblings, children, parents that they haven't spoken to for years, suddenly get in touch. We're all connected on a level that very few of us acknowledge and accept, but we are. And removing that negative charge from the situation removes it for everybody.
Yeah. So, ladies, do you want to have a look, maybe just on the small thing that you are going to work on? Do you want to see if you've got any resistance to it so we can support you? And then anyone on the replay, if you've got anything and you're not quite sure how to move past it, then please get in touch with me or Sass. You know, we've got Messenger, so and send us an email. But definitely reach out on Messenger.
All of our icons for social media are on the emails that I send out. So, you know, and all of those social media platforms have ways to contact us.
Yeah. So would you like to test out your sway, ladies? Do I have resistance to, or whatever your small, medium and large? You can just do the small one if you like.
Do you want to unscreen share?
Yes. Well, yeah, I've got the release statement there.
Yeah. I can see people.
Yay. Oh.
Molly's got some yeses. Okay, are you able to just pop something in the chat? Let us know you're okay, and if you have any questions at all about anything we've been talking about. I know you joined us halfway through, so it might have seemed to be a bit random, but please do feel free to just pop something in the chat. Just say hi. It's lovely to have you here. You'll always get something from whatever's going on. You're always exactly where you need to be. You'll always hear what you need to hear.
Can't hear you, Molly. Are you talking to us or?
Pesky Zoom with its mute buttons.
I didn't realise I'd muted. It's something I'm going to have to work on. I know exactly what it is. It's not that any of these goals are not the right things to do. It's really at the moment I'm at that point of God, I don't know what to say. Or will people to, you know, like at the Mind Body and Spirit Fair, you know, what am I going to say? Obviously I'm going to hopefully sign people up for a potential group workshop I've got an idea for, and I'll give people my card. But so that's, and also the same for the Medium, YouTube. I'll work it out, but that's my fear of what the hell am I, you know, what do I have to say? And will people want to listen to me? So those are my fears.
This is what we were talking about earlier. We all know that people will want to hear what you've got to say.
Yeah, and I've just got to do it. But those are the fears I'm dealing with, and I keep doing. But I just need to get rid of those. And as a result, instead of freezing and just procrastinating about putting off what I'm going to actually say at this Mind, Body, and Spirit, you know, I have I've started doing it, and I've done my postcards, and I'm not going to do an awful lot, but I'll certainly be a presence there. And then with the YouTube, I know sort of what I'm going to do. I'll probably go for a walk and talk. And that
can you ask your sway if there's an issue of trust Do you trust yourself?
Okay.
Or do you trust the process?
Okay, I'm going to talk about the YouTube one because that's the one that's
I'm talking about, do you trust yourself to be able to come up with something to say? Do you trust yourself to
I
not
trust
pick it up?
I do actually.
Good.
And I think it's just this fear. But I actually I'm feeling more confident about it. And am I procrastinating? No.
No.
It's just,
Do you need to have
what
something
I'm going to say. I
practical?
think until I write a list or something and just do it. I mean,
Can I make a suggestion?
yes, please.
If you don't know what to say,
Mm-hmm.
here I
Yes.
go again with my AI. Go on to ChatGPT
Right. Yeah.
and give it a command. Tell it that you want to write it to write you a script, and put all the things that you want to talk about in there.
Okay.
And tell it. So tell it what you do, a bit about yourself.
Right.
Tell it that you want to write a 2-minute script and include whatever it is you want to talk about.
Okay, that's it. I don't know what I want to talk about.
Okay.
I mean, I tried it the other day. I don't know if I said this on Monday, but I was walking dogs and I just came to this space where it was like going through a tunnel. And I just found myself talking through that, life's a bit like this and you want to dive out when you get to a crossroads. It was great. And I listened to it afterwards and thought, that sounds not half bad. It's actually 6 minutes, so it's a bit long for a quickie. And that was my fault. I thought, right, I've got something I can put on to.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing for me. I think once I start talking, I'm all right.
Mm-hmm.
I just got to pull my finger out and do it. You know. But I take the point back.
You do. Basically, you do, Molly. And I mean, the thing is, your first one might not be fantastic, but your fifth one will be. But you can't get to your fifth one
without doing
the first one.
I know. I talk to myself, and I talk the most amazing conversations with myself. And I came up with something the other day, which actually it's on my card. It's that just oh God, I can't remember what it says now. Release the things that are holding you back and just open the door of possibilities. That's my big thing is, we're so afraid of doing that because in case we have to do it. So I think, I'll start there. Okay. Door.
You could even talk about procrastination. What's holding you back? What stops you in your tracks? Have you ever felt like that? That kind of thing. You can have almost like have a dialogue about it, couldn't you?
Yeah,
that's it. And don't forget, like Manish just said, ask the questions. Have you ever felt this? How does this make you feel? Can you relate to this?
Yeah. You can give one of your own examples,
talk examples.
Yeah.
Because that appeals to me. Sorry, Karen, if I'm hogging the show. Far more than doing the YouTube, the Facebook stuff. In fact, I've gone through all my Facebook and I've just unfollowed so many people, mostly to do with felt. But and I'm thinking more Instagram, and which is where a lot of people are, and TikTok. Yeah, I can try TikTok. I'm sure Nina.
The thing is, all you have to do is make one video, and you can put it in those three
everywhere.
places.
Yeah, and do reels, isn't it?
Yeah. Short reels, YouTube Shorts. People's attention span has gone down to less than a goldfish.
I know, it's so bad, isn't it?
Yeah. Well done, Molly. You'll be fine. And if ever you start sort of thinking you won't be fine, just take a minute to look back on all the things you have achieved and all the times you have stood up and done things, stood up, stepped up, not stood up, stepped up for yourself. And you've always come through and you've always achieved. And, can you think of anything that you've ever gone for that you didn't achieve?
Well, no, but I said, if you set your mind to something, you'll blooming well do it.
Exactly.
But again, even if you didn't achieve it, what did you learn? And did you get back up? Of course you did.
Yeah. learned a lot. Yeah. And sorry, and one last thing, it's helped, which is actually Jenny, the business coach. I had a meeting with her. She said, put all your qualifications down, Molly. Just because you are an energy alignment mentor now and a future life progression and you're interested in that, you know, you were a nurse, you were a science technology teacher, you're a textile artist, you got BA, you know, put it all down, because it just, and so that's made me feel good. So that's gone now.
Yeah.
Which I would not normally have done. I wouldn't have.
This is the thing,
It's
we
not
will
relevant, but actually
blow
it
our
is.
trumpets.
Mm.
So,
Giving
I'm a nurse
each and
and
every one
reflexologist.
here
Too many things.
absolute permission to
Yeah,
put it all down there,
yeah.
big it up, blow that
Yeah.
trumpet.
Yeah,
Bragging rights are
Mm.
yours. Go for it.
absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
You're a goddess.
I'm a wise woman.
On.
Did we forget for a moment, ladies?
No,
We are a goddess.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Karen, my lovely. How did you get on with, did you have any resistance to anything?
Heck yes, I only started with small, but yeah, there's resistance to even doing the energy work to see if I've got any resistance, which is quite intriguing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we often get resistance to the resistance.
Yeah, it's a classic.
I wouldn't have expected it, given mentally I feel that I'm ready and it's the right time. But again, clearly there is, but I will work through that as well. So
Yeah.
keep asking the questions, keep doing the work.
Yeah.
Wear it down.
Absolutely.
Mhm, mhm.
Yay.
Yes. Exactly. Don't take no for an answer. You're a goddess. That's, yeah. Whenever you feel you're getting stuck, it's just like, do you know what? I'm a goddess. And as such, I can do this. I can do anything. Just maybe not today.
And ladies, you've got the goddess effect release and replace statement, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've just got to go through. Will your days be up for a day or two? Is it one
Yeah.
recordings?
Oh, you'll get recordings, Molly. You'll get
I'll
a link
just-
to the recordings. They're on YouTube.
Oh, they're on YouTube. Perfect.
Yeah, they're there forever.
I'll
Yeah.
catch up. with
They're
them.
private, but
Yeah.
you'll have the link. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. Now I'd just love to catch up with what I missed the last couple of days.
Oh, bless you, darling. Yeah.
No, it's been super great. You guys are such a team.
We love it. We absolutely.
We are absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But,
All right. So
we
I'm just
love
wondering what my next slide
Yeah.
is. I think I've got.
What's on the,
Oh
what's
yeah.
on the slide?
So
What's on the slides, Mandy? Does anybody
the
remember?
last slide is
Old.
about Fire Opal, and we start on
yeah.
Monday.
Does anybody remember? Was it Playhouse or Play School or something where they had the little house? What's through the square window?
Oh yes, I've
Play
got my
school.
board. Play
Play
school.
School was it? Right.
What's
Oh.
through the round window?
Oh. Go on, Mandy. Show us your slides.
I've only got one. It just says, I'll let you talk about the Fire Opal because I've done a lot of talking tonight.
Okay, you want me to talk about the Fire Opal? Well, ladies, you'll be surprised to know that Mandy and I are rolling out a 5-week course that starts on Monday at 7 p.m. And it's all about working on your energy using the chakras, your aura, the universal laws, elemental principles, etc., etc. It's kind of back to basics, but we all need to go back to basics now and again, don't we? Because it's proven that it works. And you get me and Mandy, sorry, but there you go. To hold you and
But
guide you.
the difference is that you take something that's really niggling you right now, and we use the energy work to really look at that and almost compare it to an area of your life that might be so flowing and wonderful. What are you doing there that you can pull across? Where it's almost like a comparison. It's like the scales are like this. So how can we get it all working wonderfully and clearing the energy around what isn't flowing for you in that area of your life as well?
And I know that I'm going to be doing the work as well, because it always works, and there's always more stuff to do. There's always another level. We're always, you know, upgrading our operating system, as it were. And you know, so we're all doing it together, and we're all in it together. And so there's that level of support where we all resonate with each other. We can all, you know, say, have you thought about this? Have you tried that? Because this is it. It's one of the big things. If you're in my world for any length of time, you'll understand that because of my ancestors, you all know I channel my ancestors. Please say yes. Yeah, excellent, good. So I don't have to explain that one. Brilliant. What has been shown to me from way back, sort of way before the burning times and the misogyny, is that one of the first things that upset our equilibrium, if you like, was other women who told us that we couldn't share our gifts, we couldn't use our gifts to help people. We had to do it their way, and they set themselves up and established themselves as priestesses and, you know, guru type things, and said, no, you can't do that. You've got to do it my way, and you've got to train with me and be one of my acolytes and satellites, and it's got to be like this and it's got to be like that. So
that's better than me.
Yeah, that's when we started dimming our light and sort of shrinking into the shadows and thinking we weren't good enough. So in spite of all the things I've been saying this week about the patriarchy, you know, we did it first. So and it's about understanding that we do have the power. We always have the power to share our gifts, work on ourselves. You know, even if you don't want to do this on anybody else, you have the power. It's not me and Mandy, it's you guys. But we're offering that space for you to realize it. And we're not saying that, you know, you've got to work on this and you've got to work on that. It's like, okay, what's coming up for you? What's your situation? And how can you work through it? And how can we help you until you absolutely remember how to do this yourself? Because this is what we're born with. These skills we are born with, but we live in a society where they're not valued. And let's face it, none of the previous generations know how to do it themselves, so that they can remind us how to do it as well. But back in the day, we did this all the time. Energy work was like eating, breathing, walking, swimming, interrelating with people. Energy work was part of our daily life, and we need to get that back. So we're not teaching you guys anything new. We're just reminding you, remembering you, whatever it is,
helping you remember.
That you have the power, you have the gifts,
and
we're just trying to activate them in you and light that spark somewhere. So like Karen said, I'm going to keep working through that. This is perfectly normal. We just don't live in a society that recognizes that that's what we need to do, because we all just want to be feeling good, don't we? We all just want to be at that equilibrium and homeostasis. Well, how do we get there? Another shopping spree? Don't get me wrong, I'm not
another
knocking,
bottle of wine.
I am not knocking a shopping. Anyone who knows, Molly knows me, I am not knocking a shopping spree. Okay.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know, that lasts, I don't know, a splash in the pan. Energy work lasts forever. Everything you do up levels you again and again and again. It works, and it does last forever. And we're just reminding you of that. That's all we're doing. So there will be the links to go and have a look at it, what we're covering in that. And so we've got the Monday nights, and then actually doing the work. Optionally on Wednesday night, there is another forum, another space where you can actually turn up and do the swaying and the releasing, and asking the questions. And something might come up and you might say, I don't really know what this answer means. I don't know where to go with this. It says I need to know more, but I don't know what the next question is. There'll be plenty of people there to support you. So have I left anything out, Mandy?
I don't think so, apart from next Tuesday.
Oh, yes, next Tuesday. Bonus. What's next Tuesday? What's happening next Tuesday, ladies? It's Halloween.
Oh, yes.
Trick or treat. We've got a special for you, completely free. We're doing a Beyond the Witch Wound. Okay. So we're doing a little bit of meditation, releasing, healing based on, and it's that time of the year when the veils between the worlds are at their thinnest, so things can be revealed to us that we wouldn't normally see in the normal sort of course of our work. And this is why back in the day people used to worship or work with the wheel of the year, and you know how things were evolving, because they understood when was a good time, according to the moon or whatever, when was a good time to ask questions and when was a good time to do stuff. So next Tuesday is a fantastic time to do this kind of thing, because yeah, the veils are thin.
Are you going to I can't go, I'm actually going, I don't go often go to the cinema, but I've got
Oh
to.
wow.
No, will you be recording this?
We will record it.
Of course we will. Yeah,
I'd love to do it, and I could do it when I get back, but
sure. Yeah.
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 I
Yeah,
will
absolutely.
give you the registration link.
Okay.
Just
Lovely.
register for it, and then it means you're on the list, and everybody that registers gets the replay.
Super. I'm sorry about that. Well, I'm not
Well, you-
sorry I'm going to the cinema.
No, of course not.
No, I'm fun.
I'm just sorry I can't make it.
What are you going to see, Molly?
I'm going all by myself. I'm going to see Gustav Klimt. It's a documentary about him.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
sounds really interesting, actually.
It does.
Yeah, I've had it on the diary for about 2 months.
Love his stuff. Love it.
Yeah, so do
Nice.
I.
Oh, his stuff's
This will be
amazing.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, Arka, I don't want you to feel that we're ignoring you, lovely, but if you have got anything you want to ask, or pop it in the chat, because I think we're about to round up and
Yeah, we're about
say our
done.
last goodbye, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah. Don't forget, folks, I did put the link to the human design. That will give you your free chart.
Yes.
And then if you want to message me and send me your chart, if you want, I can send you some info about what you are. Are you a manifestor? Are you this? Are you that? I mean, it would probably tell you in the chart, but
Yeah,
what does
usually
that actually
does,
mean?
doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's just an extra bit of awareness about why you do things the way you do, and it stops you thinking there's something not wrong with you, but like I start things and then I don't finish
Liberating.
them. Why do I do that?
Very liberating. I found when I realized stuff about me, I just went, oh, of course. And it's weird, isn't it? I needed somebody else to give me permission to be me. Very strange, but yeah, very liberating. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody who's watching now on, the session now and on the replay. I've been getting feedback from people who've been watching the replays saying how great it's been and some questions and things. So everybody, all the listeners at home as well.
It's been really great.
Come and join us on Monday. Let's have a party.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it just leaves us to say good night and thank you so much for your time, ladies. We do appreciate that. It's quite a commitment. 4 nights on the trot, an hour and a half. Do the map on it.
Thank you.
So grateful. Thank you so much.
Fabulous. Take care, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Send you lots of love. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.